Hello and welcome. Today I would like to offer a practice to invite you into the deeper wisdom that you have within you at all times. We live in a culture that prizes thought, and thought is pretty impressive. There are a lot of great minds that have walked this earth, and we want to use the intellect to great effect when it is appropriate. However, with many things in the world right now, we've kind of gotten out of balance out of our entire capacity for intelligence, for wisdom. So if you haven't ever accessed the deeper wisdom of your heart, this exercise is for you, and it might surprise you what you might find. So I'm going to show you two exercises, one that expands on the other. And the invitation is to go into the deeper wisdom of the heart. So we call this heart thinking or your heart brain. There's several studies that have shown in recent years that there's more neurological pathways that go from the heart to the brain than from the brain to the heart. And this kind of shows us what yoga has been teaching us for thousands of years, that there is a deep, vast wisdom in the heart space that is expansive, is inclusive, resides in everlasting possibility. The head brain, head thinking, is also important. However, what these studies show is if we start in the heart and we start in possibility and then we recruit the brain, that is the magical connection of finding solutions to problems, to navigating challenging ideas or moments in your life, right? We start in this place of expansion and connection, and then we invite the logistical brain to sort things out. So if we start the other way around, we're already starting in limitation, right? But if we start in the heart, we're already in expansive places of possibility. And then the brain can sort the rest out. So this is an exercise that you can do. And studies show that if you do this once a day for 3 minutes a day, this can really help you tune into the heart voice, which is loving, which is inclusive, which is supportive. Okay. So if you've never listen to the voice of your heart, welcome. I'm so excited. Your heart is waiting. I do this exercise in the women's circles that I do, and it always surprises me how readily the heart is waiting when we can access it. It has so much advice, support, love, wisdom to share with us if we just can tune off the head and listen to the heart. So I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable seat, maybe roll through the shoulders a little bit, shake out some of the stagnation in your body so you can sit for 3 minutes. Take a couple deep breaths and then settle yourself in. And this will be a 3-step process, and then I'll add a 4th step after we do the exercise incomplete, that this can be a foundation for. You'll see. So first we're going to do step 1, and that is to make physical connection with your heart. So maybe just fingertips touching, maybe hands stacked lovingly, your sub-chakras placed over your heart chakra. Or maybe hands at namaste if that's comfortable, thumbs making connection to your heart. And that's step 1, so just making physical contact with the heart. If it's comfortable, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes so you can kind of tune into your feeling state. If that's too isolating and not comfortable for you, that's fine. Just take a soft gaze toward the floor. Just kind of tuning out the eye information taken in by the eyes. Just soften there. And then step 2 is we're going to deepen our breathing. So if you want, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly if you need that support to invite a deeper breath into your low belly. And you can breathe in and out through the nose, or if that's not possible, the mouth is fine. In through the nose, out through the mouth, whatever is comfortable for you right now. So that's step 2. Physical contact with the heart, deep breathing. And step 3 is going to be tuning into something that makes you feel grateful. So it may start as a thought in your head, but I want you to get it to a place where you can feel it. So maybe family or friends who mean a lot to you, a community that you belong to that's really, that you cherish. It could be an activity. It could be just something simple like the face of a flower. It could be chocolate. It could be your first cup of coffee in the morning, whatever it is. Search through the catalog of images until you feel gratitude. You can think it, but I want you to get to a place of feeling it. Is it a baby's laugh? Oh, that makes me feel expansive or joyful. Is it the purr of my kitten? Is it that beautiful flower that's growing in my garden, whatever it is, find something that helps you feel that gratitude, appreciation, care, joy, and just let it expand. So now that we're in this step 3, we've made physical contact with our heart, we've deepened our breath, and now we're feeling into this heart emotion. We're going to just stay here and breathe for 3 minutes. You can turn up the corners of your mouth if it helps. Just feel into that. You can make this picture as big and elaborate as you want. Maybe it's the smell of freshly baked cookies or roses. So you can use your senses to feel into gratitude as well. Maybe it's the smell of a baby's head. It's a beautiful smell. Maybe you're a gardener and you like the smell of freshly cut grass or a nice fresh earth. So it could be a smell or an image, a sense, a really good hug from someone you know who hugs really well. So keep the breath deep, connecting to your heart physically, and keeping a connection to that image wherever the sense comes from, of gratitude, appreciation, care. And if your mind starts to wander in, say thank you, I'll be right with you. And come back to your breath. Come back to your heart. Come back to that feeling. And now take one more nice deep breath. Exhale with sound. And you can release. So that exercise, if you do 3 minutes a day, I say you can really turn around the way you approach life, the way you approach challenges, the way you approach anything, something you want to create or build in this world. So that might be enough of an exercise for you. You can start with that. If you'd like to add this next thing on, this can also be, I guess, kind of like a booster in connecting to your heart and applying it to maybe thoughts that have been jumbling around your head. Oftentimes when we slow down, we don't like it because we see all of the chatter that's in our minds, right? All the challenges that we've got going on or the responsibilities we have to figure out. But what we often don't realize is that the thoughts that are coming into our head are just our ego trying to keep us safe. Like, oh, what about that? Oh, what about that? Pardon. So it's just an invitation to look at those, but if you bring them into the heart, you might get a solution that you hadn't thought of, right? The mind can tick away, but sometimes if you talk something out or you bring it into the heart, you might find a solution that you hadn't thought of. So with that first exercise, I'm going to bring you back to that state, bringing your hands or hand to connect with your heart physically. Begin to deepen your breathing. And we were just here, so hopefully you'll slip right back in and find that gratitude image or sense that made you feel. I can feel mine. It makes me feel expansive. It makes me feel joyful. It makes me feel just lifted and more alive, luminescent. Tune into how you feel. So we're back here with that 3-step physical contact, deep breathing, and sensing that feeling. And now that we've worked to find this feeling, we can let this be like a healing balm or a safe haven for that thought. So now just soften into maybe something that's been on your mind you haven't found a solution to, or something that you're looking to move forward with more awareness or just move past. And invite that thought, and notice the quality of the thought might be worryful, full of worry or dread, and say, oh, that's okay. And invite that thought into your heart. So invite that sense of gratitude to kind of envelop the thought. Like, I understand that you're worried, but stay here and let my heart open and expand and envelop that thought so that your heart can maybe inform. And just take a moment with the sense of gratitude and inviting the thought. Your heart is big enough to hold it. It is expansive. It is connective. It is that connection to God, source, collective conscious. It's big enough to hold this limited thought. And just stay until you feel a shift. Maybe you feel the thought has less of a hold on you. Maybe it doesn't feel as, you don't feel such deep dread. Maybe you're just feeling a little concerned. That's fine. That will give you, action. But we don't want it to overtake. So see if the heart has any advice now on this thought. Maybe it kind of dissipates and, oh, it wasn't a concern at all. I was just making it something in my mind. Or my mind was building it into something else. Maybe you feel a solution. Maybe you hear a loving thought, or you feel a loving invitation to do something in a way you hadn't thought of before. So just stay here for about a minute. Again, the only job is to allow the heart to open, feeling into that grateful state, and allow it to hold that thought. Keeping the breathing nice and smooth and deep. And see if a thought arises. Know that if this is your first time trying this exercise and the thought is pervasive, it might take practice, so be gentle with yourself. Just come back to that loving thought if it's too much, and if it's too big of a thought that you're trying to wrestle with, just invite the thought to go to the side, say, I love you, I see you, I'll come back to you. And maybe invite a simpler thought. And again, if it's all too much, just come back to the heart space until you've built a deep of a connection. And take another deep breath in. Exhale slowly through your mouth. And then blink open your eyes and release your hands. So whether you do just that first exercise, 3 minutes a day, and build up your connection to your heart voice, your thinking brain, or your heart brain, or you move on to that second exercise, it is an invitation for you to live into your whole self. Allow the deep wisdom that resides within you, it sounds cliche, but it's true, to come forth and guide your life. So I hope you found this helpful. Give it a try. And if you do, I'd love to hear how it went. Leave comments below, reach out with any questions. And I invite you to enjoy this journey back to your heart.